Well, you said we have to talk about my celibacy. You don't think you can wait?
I think it'd be very tough for me.
So why am I here? There's literally just, there's a no in between. Like, what are you waiting for to determine yes or no? Are you waiting till I waiver or something? Because this is something I'm not touching on.
What we just did, what is that?
It's a form of intimacy.
We are intimate. We're not all the way intimate. You riding me and simulating it and having an orgasm, that was confusing.
I need to know if this is something you're okay with or not. I don't know what to do. Can you at least put yourself in my shoes?
I put myself in your shoes, and what you're saying doesn't make any sense to me.
I know for sure whether I get married or not, I'm not doing that until I get married. If I don't get married, then I'm never doing that. That is how I feel about that.
I'm happy for you.
So
what do you want me to do with that?
That is something I needed you to either know and be okay with, or say, hey, like, that's not something I could do, and that's okay also. But I need you to have that clarity for me. Jorge and I had a little disagreement yesterday. So it kind of was awkward sleeping last night. And it's still not even like resolved. It's still something that, like, it's a conversation that I still need to have with him.
I think that anyone who feels like they have a celibacy journey, they have the right to feel the way they do. But the person who doesn't want to be celibate has a right to feel the way they do. In the promise room, she was talking about her journey of celibacy. Of course, I go, oh shit, really? Like, damn. But there's nothing Vanell can't tell me about who she is that I'm not gonna respect. I can't be like, oh, well, you're doing celibacy, bye, and then miss out on someone who I think is, you know, an amazing woman. It's not something that I want to do. That's where I'm at, and I think it could become a very big issue.
Like, I really, really want this to work out. I really do see him as my person, but this was like my number one, like, non-negotiable. In the past, I have been wavering about this, and I'm no longer willing to do that. So if we can't get on the same page about it, then I would have to walk away.
We had 2 disagreements. And if 2 disagreements break us down, then I question our strength. The truth is,
but these aren't just like disagreements that aren't like, I mean, these are, I guess it's not so much the disagreement for me. I think, well, one, the celibacy thing, that's already something that, like, we're not on the same page about too, but which is also a big deal for us that we need to talk about too.
You good?
What are you thinking about with us?
With us?
Yeah, do you feel that, like, maybe we're just not a good match? That there's no reason for us to be here?
I mean, we didn't even finish the conversation, so I don't know.
Okay. So I guess, like, with the celibacy thing, like, you saying I don't know was just hard for me to hear, because going into the promise room, this was something that I was very anxious about telling you about. And leaving the promise room, I thought that from what I gathered from our conversation, you made it seem to me like, oh, like, I don't care about that. It's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. And then coming in here, now you're like, oh, I don't know. If you told me, I don't know, I would have went home in the promise room. I would have not came all the way here, lived with you, and done all of this. I wouldn't have came here.
We've done things, so that's not celibacy. So that's kind of confusing for you to say, well, I'm so very serious about that, but there are things that I will do that are...
Okay, so in the promise room, why didn't you just say, I don't know? Why didn't you just say, I don't know? Like, why didn't you say that to me then and there?
I'm gonna speak again. I'm not gonna interrupt you. I hope I can speak. So first off, let me address it. In the promise room, I told you, there's nothing that you have to be afraid of. You can tell me anything, and it does not matter. And that is the truth. Do I think that celibacy is enough to keep me away from someone who I think I have a valid, genuine connection with? No, I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't think it is. Additionally, if you're saying you're celibate, but yet we can mess around and do other things, then it's not really celibacy. It's really a version of what you think celibacy is. So then that means, okay, It's not really, I'm not really saying I want to be celibate. I'm just saying that there's certain, I won't involve myself in intercourse. So if I were to hold you to what you're saying, you could have said in the promise room, well, I want to be celibate in the sense of I won't have intercourse, but I'll do other things. That's not what you said. So what I'm getting at is, and if you look at it, the disagreements, it's not been me violating those principles. It's like you like to dictate circumstances. You like to be in control of them. I'm not a dude that you can control like that. And that's always going to be me. What does the Bible say? The power of life and death is in the tongue. So you need to be careful of what you say. That's just the way I feel.
Okay. I guess we're good, right?
I don't know what good means. What do you mean?
I guess we're good. Like, we can go our separate ways.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time we have a conversation, it feels as though he's talking at me and not talking with me. Living together, we're seeing our viewpoints are just very far off. I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with his age. I think it's just the type of person he is. We're really just not compatible, in my opinion. But I did really want it to work.
People will look at this and say, well, it's their age difference that broke them apart. And that's absolutely not true. My connection to Vanell was very real and very genuine. And I don't think that plays a part in it. We could not talk about certain things. And that, I mean, I don't care how big the age disparity is, be it 1 year or 50, if you can't communicate, you're going to fail.
So the definition of being celibate or celibacy is pretty much not having intercourse. So technically she is not wrong with what she was saying. But what I will say is Jorge is wrong as far as when she said, this is my stance. What do you think? He should have then said, yeah, I'm not about that life. That's what he should have said. Instead of like putting out his representative and saying that, you know, for the person, I think before it was like for you, and then it started becoming the person. So I was like, all right, so stop being fake. Just let her know up front that you're not willing to wait. Period, point blank. Because whatever else they were doing, she could have either said, or they could have the conversation of, I'm not going to have intercourse, but we can do X, Y, and Z. So I felt they had that kind of conversation, either in the promise room or shortly after. This wouldn't be a big issue as they played out on TV. But I feel he was wrong for one, not omitting a lot of stuff to begin with before they left. And two, yes, the age is one reason why they did not work. You know, so if she wants to say she does want to have sex until she's married and he's having an issue with it, that is not your person. Because whoever really wants to be with you, they'll accept whatever it is that you're telling them that you want to do or not do until X, Y, and Z. And he was kind of pushing back on it a little bit, where it's like, well, we did this, so technically you're not celibate. But like, if she doesn't want to do a certain amount of things, but wants to do other things, that can just be a conversation. I just feel like he was in the wrong. She put her foot down what she wanted. She's like, I'm not going to cave, but yet you're having a hissy fit because you guys are interacting in other ways, but not what you want to get. So if Jorge was a man, he would, one, not date his daughter, one, and then get with someone who's actually about that life. But, you know, that's neither here or there. But I understand where Vanell is coming from. But the age is too big. And then he was kind of talking down to her about life experience as well. In another clip, so I'm like, if you're going to date someone who's your dad's age and have him talk to you like your daughter, instead of someone who's around your own age, where you guys can grow together. And then she did, I didn't put it in the clip, but she was like, I'm not going to find someone with this type of connection again. Like, girl, yes you are. You're going to find someone around your age who you can connect with better than this guy who is your dad's age.
All right, well, I'm going to say something right now, somebody. Jay and I, we're going to have two very opposite kind of opinions on this, because with me, as soon as I hear celibacy, I want it defined, okay? Because when I saw that scene and Jorge said, hey, you're about celibacy, but what were we doing? And that's getting amorous, getting romantic, you know? feeling each other and she was simulating an orgasm. What? You don't think that gets a man going? And then already knowing you cannot pursue that. But I saw it as she's dictating what celibacy is. I'm not about that, okay? So again, as soon as Jorge heard her say that, define it. What does that mean? Does that mean anything but? And by the way, is that open? Or where can we go? What are the parameters? Because I'm not a person that's going to wait for you until the aisle, okay? I'm a person that likes to test drive. And if I like the first test drive, I'm going to keep going. And then I'll probably purchase the vehicle. But I'm not about waiting, all right? Because, look, in a perfect world, I'm sure we could wait, and then in our honeymoon, they finally get busy, and it's great. But that's not the case. You got to make sure you have chemistry in all parts of your relationship. And one of the important ones is between the sheets. I know a lot of people don't like to say it out loud, but I will say it out loud, okay? Now my partner here, Jay, he'll wait, so he's a better man than I am, I'm sure. But nonetheless, that was the automatic thought I had. Okay, what are the parameters? You guys never had this conversation, so that's why you're having this conversation, and it's not going well, because I'm sure, maybe even Vanell doesn't know what the parameters are in the definition, because if she felt that getting him excited by getting on top, biting him, and simulating an orgasm, come on. All of you, put that in the comment section. What do you think about that in general? Is that celibacy? Because you already heard what Jay said. It is. I don't think that falls into it. A very realistic conversation needs to be had. When I understand why Vanell wants to be celibate, fine, so be it. It seems Jorge was explaining he has no problem with her being celibate. But what is the definition? That is the key thing here. As always, talk about everything. Even if it's for better or worse or indifferent, just get it out there. That way, both of you know where you stand. That's the only way this is going to work with any topic in a relationship, marriage. Just throw it out there, all right? So simple. So the only thing I want to say is, like, a man gets excited. I mean, are we talking other input? Is that open?